Well, hello and welcome to Live in the Hive. It's Thursday night, it's 8 o'clock, and we got a show for you. We've got a real mix this evening. We've got a bit of entertainment, we've got a bit of food, we've got some cocktails. What more could you want on a Thursday night? So welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget, during the show, this is your show too. So we want you to join in, comment, ask questions. I'll put them to the guests and we will see how we get on. As I say, it is a great show ahead. Now, if you are interested or are a bit of a foodie, then we have got something for you in a very short while. It's a Bolton Food and Drink Festival this bank holiday weekend. So we're going to get the lowdown all about what to expect from the Bolton Food and Drink Festival. And have you got your ingredients for our cocktail making? I hope you're going to be making your cocktails along with us this evening. If you haven't, you may still have some of these ingredients in the house. We're going to be making a 59 Portland Street cocktail with the guys at Hotel Brooklyn. So you need some lemon gin, some simple syrup, and some Prosecco. Oh, it's gonna be a real tasty one. I have tasted that cocktail myself, and I can tell you it's absolutely delicious. Now let's get on with our first guest though, because it is jam-packed this evening, and he is a guest you will certainly recognize. It was Britain's Got Talent's winner back in 2011. He has been very busy since he won Britain's Got Talent, and he is starring in this gem of a show. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Sister soul, sister flow, sister hey, sister go, sister soul, sister flow, sister. Been harmonized down in old Moulin Rouge. She said, hello, hey Joe, you wanna give it a go? Get you, yeah, yeah, da, da. Hey, 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 real lady mama lie. Till the beat of the rhythm of the night, dance until the morning light. Forget all the worries on your mind, we can leave them all. Till the beat of the rhythm of the night, feel the rhythm. Forget about the worries on your mind.
His eyes upon your face, it's more than I can stand. As my heart, I do. Oh, don't give us none of your aggravation. We're having with your discipline. The Saturday night's the night I like. Saturday night's alright, alright, alright. Saturday night's alright.
Oof, I don't know about you, but that got my toes tapping, my heart beating. I got a little bit hot and bothered. Let's introduce the man himself, Mr. Jai McDowall.
Hi, hello Michelle, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm feeling a little bit hot after that, I have to say. What a show.
I'm a bit hot and a bit worried that there's going to be more dancing than anticipated in this show.
I mean, that just looks like it does, to coin the Greatest Showman, come alive, doesn't it, before your eyes?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really epic show. Even from the trailer, it just looks as if it's going to be full of energy and just, as you say, like hotness. is that a word? But you know what I mean? Like it's just electric almost. And look, obviously after being away for so long, it's a great show to come back with. I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
because it's a real mix. It's called Come What May, as we saw on the trailer there. And it's not just Moulin Rouge, as you might imagine, because, you know, the song Come What May comes from Moulin Rouge. You've got a bit of The Greatest Showman in there. A Star is Born, one of my favorite things, and burlesque. So there is like a real mashup, which for you as a performer must be really exciting to get your teeth into.
Yeah, it's one of those things like you obviously if you're in a musical, it's just those songs, but to be in a sort of compilation production almost, it's pretty good because you get to sing songs that normally I probably wouldn't pick for a set list. Like I know obviously the Moulin Rouge soundtrack is pretty epic. I weirdly enough, I was listening to it a couple of weeks before this job came in because of the West End transfer from Broadway, and I just thought the music was absolutely incredible. And then this came through, and I was like, "Oh yes, I want to sing Moulin Rouge songs for 8 weeks. Of course I do. It's fantastic."
That's just amazing. It's almost like that's meant to be, Jai.
I mean, I love it. I've actually had a friend of mine who's a little bit angry at me for not actually being in Moulin Rouge in the West End, and I was like, "It's fine. There's still time." And now I'm going to go into and learn all the songs anyway, so I'm going to be ready. So
You've got the best of both worlds. So what's going to happen is you're going to do Come What May, then we're going to see you on Broadway, yeah?
Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Love it. Well, we can see some of the dates that's scrolling across the screen at the moment, but I know there's not too long before you take the helm of that show, is there? I mean, it starts in September.
Yeah, so I actually leave this week to go down to London for rehearsals. So we've got 2 weeks of rehearsals from Monday until the 14th, and then the show opens in Buxton on the 15th, and then we're on the road right through till the 18th of November. So it's gonna be a long one, but I'm really excited. I really am. I don't even know if I can express how excited I am just because I've had so much time off, and I'm like, this is such a good show to do. Energy, like I'm definitely going to be fit after this.
Oh, absolutely, especially if they get you doing the can Jai.
I know. Can you imagine trying to sing and do the can at the same time?
Yeah, good luck with that one. So the tour obviously is exciting for lots of different reasons, for the show itself and also for getting out there, because like most performers, Jai, it must have been so hard during the pandemic not being able to do your craft.
Yeah, and that was the worst. Like, obviously, to begin with, I enjoyed actually having time at home, which was really nice because it doesn't happen very often. And then it got to a point where I was like, right, I'm ready to get back on the road. I'm ready to sing, not to my computer screen. And it was just one of those things. Like, I knew I loved my job before, but now I just don't think I could do anything else. Do you know that way? It's like I don't ever want to do anything else, and I want to keep doing this until I can, basically.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think what it's done is it's made us appreciate what we've got and what we want in life. But I mean, gosh, you knew a long time ago, because let me rewind to when you first came on the scene to us and we knew you in Britain's Got Talent. That was 10 years ago. It feels like 2 minutes, Jai.
I know. So I had grand plans for my 10-year anniversary, but I thought I had plenty of time to plan this. And then it came around and I was like, how did that happen? It just went like that, honestly. Like while sitting here, I can imagine and even feel the emotions that I felt back then. And it's just mad. It's just
because I remember your first audition, right? And you stepped on the stage, and I'm sure in the VT before, you know, we saw the performance, you were saying, I'm really, really nervous and I feel like I'm not going to do this. Was that how bad those nerves were at the start?
Yeah, definitely. Because I'd never really performed to a crowd of that size at the time. And obviously I'd never been on the TV, so I was just panicking. And I don't know, it was a weird, I just didn't think, in a strange way, because of my upbringing and things like that, I just didn't think it was going to go my way, or I was going to manage to do it, or I was going to chicken out, or I don't know. But thankfully, I managed it, and 10 years on, I'm still managing to tour the country and work and sing for a living. And
You
it's
didn't just manage it, you absolutely smashed it, Jai. I mean, the voice, your vocals are fantastic. And I know that since then you have gone on tour. You've gone on tour with this lovely lady that also has a bit of a connection to Britain's Got Talent, Susan there.
that was a lovely tour. It was so nice because Susan and I, we've worked together a few times on sort of singular events throughout the years, and it was just really, really nice to get to know her and spend some proper time with her and tour around the UK. And thankfully, we managed it just before we went into lockdown. Because
Was that her 10 tour?
Yes, that was her anniversary tour of 10 years as well. So
Gosh.
it was,
Well, the thing is, you're both from Scotland. Was there a lot of square sausage and mother's pride eaten?
well, unfortunately for me, no, because I'm a vegetarian. But I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming Susan eats square sausage.
Oh, I do.
Don't know.
I was in Scotland last week. I was in Edinburgh, and that was it. I was like, I'm having my square sausage. I'm having my mother's pride because you can't get it over here for love nor money. And I do enjoy it, Jai.
It is, to be fair, a sliced sausage roll is something I do miss being a vegetarian. I went to a cafe today and actually someone got it delivered to the table, and I remember looking at it. My friend was like, "Do you want me to go and ask them for a piece?" I was like, a little bit.
Oh, bless you. But you've also, you've been on tour with G4, Jonathan Ansell in Les Musicals.
Yeah. So Jonathan and I actually, that was my first gig back this year. Was on the 25th of July with Jonathan, and it was great because we obviously we haven't done the show in well over a year, and we so I went down to his house to stay, and then we drove down to, we were in Southampton, or Eastleigh rather, just outside Southampton. we practiced in the van on the way down on the drive, and it was great because we remembered more than I thought, and I was like, this is brilliant, and it was great just to be on stage, and because we're really good friends. I got on great with them, and it's just such a good partnership as well. And I think because we're friends now, it shows. It shows on stage as well. We just work so well together.
And you've been through the same thing, haven't you? So you kind of understand each other.
That's it. There is that as well. And obviously, we both came from a TV show. He was X Factor. I was Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And it is nice to sort of talk about the way the machine works, and how you, I don't know, how you handle it almost.
Yeah.
And it's nice, and I've learnt so much from him as well. It's been great, just to have somebody to talk to that gets it.
Absolutely. I'd have loved to have been driving past you when you're in the van.
Singing at the top of their lungs.
I'd have been like,
Yeah, pretty sure a lot of people did. Probably thought we were a bunch of weirdos, but it's fine.
oh, well, we actually saw you make a return in 2019 to Britain's Got Talent, and I've got to say, you made me cry.
Oh.
I honestly couldn't hold it together because not only did you sing, as I say, one of my favourite things is A Star Is Born, and you sung I Will Never Love Again.
Yeah.
And just the emotion I thought that you showed and the vocals in it, and the fact that, can I just say, look at this. Simon Cowell said that was immaculate and he gave you a standing ovation. I was like, get you, go on, and that, it broke my heart. You made me cry.
Yeah. I mean, what? I know I'm a weirdo. See, when people tell me I make them cry when I sing, I don't know. I'm like, I've done my job. That's cool.
Oh, but what was that moment like when you got that kind of, that stamp there that actually he should have given you so many years ago?
It was incredible. I absolutely loved it. It was quite, actually, honestly, I feel like that was more nerve-wracking than the first time round, because there was sort of expectations there, I think, or at least expectations I put on myself. And then, and some of the team at Britain's Got Talent were there when I was there. They were still on the show, and it was lovely to see them, and just, be in that sort of environment again. But also, I guess, I don't know, I went down with this sort of, because when I picked the song, I'll Never Love Again, I'd actually literally just picked it to sing at a cabaret a couple of weeks before in London. And I went down with all this sheet music, and they were like, well, sing this song and sing that song. And then the musical director came across I'll Never Love Again, and he says, oh, Simon wants this, he wanted a man to sing this song on, I think it was America's Got Talent or something to that effect. And he couldn't find anyone. And I said, right, well, that's the one I'm singing. He's like, oh, no, wait till we'll listen to it first. No, I was like, no, that's the one I'm singing. So I sang it, and it was a weird moment, but quite nice, because there was a musical director and a few people from Sony. The vocal coach, Annabelle, was in, and she's absolutely lovely. And I'd never met her before, but I've kind of kept in touch with her since. But she sang the song, and when I sing, I kind of go into this sort of bubble, this weird, other worldy type. Just I don't know how to describe it, but I almost like just I sing, and I don't know what's going on around me, and I just sing the song. And I stopped singing the song, and she was like, "That's the one. That's the one." Everybody was crying, and I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, I'll come back tomorrow."
You know what? There's some really cracking notes in there, and you know, to hit those in a moment where you're under pressure and not crack. Wow.
Yeah, I know, and I did. It meant a lot to me as well, like just being back, and it was one of those. They give you a pod for 10 family and friends, and everything happened so quickly that within the kind of short space of time of me being in the show. So I actually like called up a lot of London friends to say, listen, is there any chance you're free tomorrow night? Do you want to come and do this? Blah, blah, blah. And it just, at one point when I was singing the song, I looked over, and they sort of spotlight your family and friends. And I looked over, and I was like, I wouldn't know any of those people if it wasn't for Britain's Got Talent. And so again, that was another layer of emotion to already all of this stuff that was going on, and then it was just great. And then I got to obviously speak to Simon afterwards, and he was lovely, and you know, we just got to shake hands, and I got to say, you know, thanks for everything, and show my appreciation as well to the show, and it was great. It was absolutely great, and I think, you know, that's probably like the best moment of my career. I think just because everything came full circle.
Absolutely.
And to walk away that night and be like, right, I've done it. I'm good.
And you've proved yourself now as your own person and your own kind of artist, and you came out there and did that. Did you go and have a few shandies after?
Do you know, I did. I did so. I mean, I say shandies, but I'm a Jack Daniels and ginger ale kind of man.
Well, I'm glad.
It's a bit, yeah. No, I definitely did go and have a few drinks with the people that were there that came out. And it was just, it was just a nice, relaxing, chilled out night. And I don't know, I didn't really cry properly. I think I did a little bit when I hugged my friend. I hugged my friend and I was like, I can't cry, there's cameras everywhere. And then, but no, I mean, it was just magic.
It was brilliant. It was a brilliant, brilliant moment. And as you say, a full circle. So now, come what may, and then that tour takes you to next year, a lot of next year, doesn't it? Is it run through till next year?
So I'm only on in 2021. I did find out who was on in 2022, but I can't tell you that.
Well, we're not bothered. We only want you, Jai.
Yeah. But so I'm doing, so it runs up to the 18th of November for me, and then I go away on to Panto. So I'm playing, I can't tell you. I'm doing Panto. I'm not allowed to.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am. But it's a good one. And then after that, I've got a little bit of time at home, I think, at the moment, depending on what happens work-wise. And then I'm out on the road with Jonathan and the musicals from March onwards. So,
when are you going to see your dog, Teddy?
January. Yeah.
Poor Teddy.
No, honest to God, I love him so much. I don't think it's healthy. I don't know if it's healthy. No, I've been away for the last kind of week or so, just doing gigs and stuff, and then I went down to do press for Panto, and I got home the other day, and he jumped up into my room and into my bed, and I was like, oh, wee son. And it was just nice. I just like him. He's such a lovable wee guy. But I have breaks in between, come what may, some of the dates. So there's some of the dates I will go home and come back. So I will see him.
And he's like that, Daddy's back. Yay!
That's pretty much it.
I know. Oh, that's brilliant. I've got a dog called Bear, and it's the best thing in the world. He's 9 months old, and he gets treated the best in the house, I have to say. He's just, he's my baby.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I shall let you go, lovely Jai. Thank you so much for joining us in the Hive. It's been really nice to chat to you and catch up. Please do come back on when you actually have a chance to breathe, Jai, because I know it's going to be quite a busy few months ahead. And and we'll see you soon again.
Well, thank you very much. Take care.
Enjoy doing the can. Don't let it wear you out. All right, take care. Oh, brilliant. That was Jai. Now, if you want to go and see Come What May show, then you can get tickets for those dates. Remember, Jai is only in it until November. So if you are a big fan of Jai McDowall, and who wouldn't be, he's an absolutely lovely man, as he proved just then. He's going to be great on that show. Absolutely fantastic. And you can find out more about dates and book the tickets there. So what else have we got coming up? Well, I think it's time that we had a drink, don't you? Now, have you got your ingredients out there ready? Because this week, we're going to be making a cocktail. We're going to be making a cocktail with those lovely guys down at Hotel Brooklyn. And this time, they're getting a bit physical.
Hey guys, so today we're going to do one of Hotel Brooklyn's signature cocktails, 59 Portland Street. You're going to need some lemon drizzle gin, some simple syrup, also known as gum, and some Prosecco. So we've got this lemon drizzle gin, 30 ml of this lemon drizzle gin into the glass. You got your simple syrup, about 10 ml of that, and then we're going to top it off with some Prosecco. To garnish that, we're going to use some lemon peel, give that a twist, get some of it all over the glass, into the glass there, and then we're going to garnish that with a nice flower, and there we go.
That was just fabulous. And if you haven't tried it already and made it and just had a sip, then please do keep hold of those ingredients and try it a little bit later on in the week. I have tried it myself. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's on the top of my favourite cocktail list. And how simple is it, hey? Really, really amazing. Now, we've got some lovely comments coming through there. I have to say hello to a few people. Irene Estrie, who is our lady who puts her positive pants on every week with us. Irene Estrie said, good luck, Jai, lots of love. And then we've got Julie Cardwell. Hello, Julie. She says, loving the chat. Thank you so, so much. Wasn't Jai absolutely fantastic? Okay, so on to our next guest. We've had a brilliant lineup tonight. Not only have we had Britain's Got Talent winner, but now we are going to take a look at two amazing producers. They're producing a brand new Brit flick. It sounds absolutely fantastic, and I got the chance to speak to them earlier this week. So take a look at this. This is a producers of 9 years.
To share with everybody on Kickstarter this. That is our view in Barton. Can you believe no one's made a film here before? How gorgeous is that? And that, my friends, is home.
As is an attraction, even an idiot could work out. Simple as look to water, or pork and steak to gout. It need not climb up roof and get to chimney pot and shout. Like crispy crossword clues to the clever. You and me were meant to be together.
Oh, now that gives me goosebumps, but I'm sure it must give you bigger goosebumps, guys, because you two are the people behind that film. Welcome to Live in the Hive, Rosie and Hayley.
Thanks for having us.
Now, honestly, it's very exciting, this, because, you know, I love films that are made here in England. I love films that are unique, original. They've kind of got that passion behind them. And this is what 9 years feels to me. Is that kind of the passion that comes from you guys about the Humber Bridge and Hull?
Yeah, do you want me to start, Rosie?
Yeah. You're the Bartonian, Hayley.
I am the Bartonian. So I grew up in Barton upon Humber, which is one side of the Humber Bridge. So the Humber Bridge has always meant home to me. Whenever you're driving back from somewhere, you see those towers, and it means you're close to a cup of tea. Many members of my family worked on the build of it. My auntie Janny worked as a tea girl, delivering tea up the towers, which is where the original idea kind of came from. So yeah, it was just talking to local people, and the passion is still there for the bridge. There's lots of feelings still very, very, very real and very open out there. So I thought it was a good way into that community and to tell the story.
Explain, it's like the backdrop to the film, isn't it, Rosie? Yeah. The film is set in 1972. It's when the actual build of the Humber Bridge was being done. It took 9 years. That's the premise. Tell us a little bit more about what is on top of that then, Rosie.
So yeah, you're quite right. That's kind of in the background is the whole build of the Humber Bridge, but we follow Judy Tagore, who's our kind of lead protagonist, who's very ambitious young girl who wants a career in music and kind of dreams of getting out of a small town kind of thing. So it's about her kind of struggle with trying to follow her dreams, but then the bridge is this kind of looming thing that keeps dragging her in and kind of threatening to stop that in some way. So that's her kind of struggle. But then it's also about how the bridge had such a positive effect on a lot of people as well. And, you know, it created loads of jobs, and it was like a huge community around it, wasn't it? So there's kind of her push and pull with wanting to do a music career, and then she's surrounded by the kind of family and community who are really, you know, the bridge is the most exciting thing that's happened there.
and what we saw from that trailer there is you actually went and did, was it 133 interviews over the space of 2 years, Hayley, to actually get all the information for this film, just to get it right?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was important to tell real stories. That's what me and Rosie do a lot in our work anyway. We base a lot of stuff around interviews. So yeah, when it was originally a stage show, we conducted all these interviews to inform the stage show, and then it's obviously evolved alongside on films into this project.
What does it feel like to be making a film together?
It's bonkers.
Yeah, Hayley and I have worked together for about 10 years, probably on theatre projects here and there. So it's been our first film together. So it's really, really exciting, and just trying to transfer those skills of working in theatre over to film, and using our experience in that way.
And how do you do that? How does it make that change from stage to screen? Was that always kind of the way that you wanted to go, or is it just kind of just happened?
Rosie?
It's just kind of happened. Happened for this film, for this project, I think. Would you say, Hayley? It kind of just evolved into that, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It felt very cinematic even when we were developing it as a theatre piece.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, and we were quite restricted in what we could do with theatre. So we could either rest on our laurels or find some amazing people to work with who know film inside out. And that's what we did.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a lot of learning.
Well,
definitely from people.
Do you know what? You're almost there. I know that you're filming, that you start filming towards the end of this week, don't you? Mm-hmm. Nervous, excited?
Both of those things.
But very excited, and every time I get a bit nervous, I'll speak to someone, you know, one of the locations in Barton or the residents or something like that, and they just put me at ease. Everyone's so supportive. The community of Barton and Hull have just been so enthusiastic about the project and supportive that it takes the edge off majorly.
Now, I've got to ask about that, because obviously if it's set in 1972 and kind of the following 9 years, how difficult is that to create that time period? You've set yourself a challenge, girls.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and we've got an amazing costume team and an amazing art director, Jess, and then there's Shannon and Amy, who are all working on this to develop the timelines. And we do a lot of the aging process with the actors through their actual gestures and what they do, and it's a lot of hair. There's a lot of hair.
It's the 70s. Come on, there's got to be a lot of hair.
Yeah. Because we go through 2 decades. We go from 1972 through to 1980. So the transition's insane.
Oh, I love that. I'd be borrowing the costumes and going out in them at the weekend. Talking of those people wearing the costumes, though, look at your lineup here. That's a fab cast that you've got there.
Look at them. They're awesome.
Gorgeous. Very talented. We're very lucky.
I know. I mean, gosh, the search for the right people. Did you have that in mind already? You know, like, I know Hayley, you've wrote 9 years. So when you're writing, do you kind of visualize? Is it very, very difficult to kind of veer away from what you've got in your head?
In a way, but I think when the right person comes into the room, I think actors often think the audition process is about whether they're good or bad, but it's nothing to do with that. It's whether it just clicks. Yeah. And there's no exact science to it. It just clicked in the room with each and every one of these actors. So yeah, that's what we were looking for. It was a feeling, wasn't it, Rosie?
Yeah, definitely. And yes, they always surprise you as well. You might have an image in your mind of one of the characters, and then someone will walk in completely opposite of what you kind of had in your mind and bring something totally new. And me and Hayley are all about that. We love kind of collaboration, and everyone putting their stamp on their role is very important to us.
Well, they look like they're having a good time in those rehearsals. It's fantastic, because not only have they got to act, I suppose they've got to sing in this, especially like the lead character, right?
Yeah, and the big challenge with it is that it's all directed to the beat. So there's a beat running throughout. So it's almost choreographed. We're running it a lot like a musical on stage.
Oh wow!
In a way, we're bringing a lot of our theatre knowledge across to this project. So yeah.
So do the majority of them sing then?
They've all got rhythm.
Oh, I'm so intrigued.
Yeah. We recorded the tracks in advance at the Chapel Studios in South Thoresby in Lincolnshire, which is an amazing studio. So everything sounds amazing. But yeah, they're going to have to sing on set as well.
That is brilliant, because as well, you've got a bit of a heavyweight. Come on.
There he is.
There he is.
Heaton from the beautiful South. He's only gone and done 4 songs on your soundtrack, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been incredible. Absolutely incredible. We couldn't have asked for more from Paul.
Absolutely. How did you get him on board?
Honestly, Twitter. Yeah. I sent him a tweet and I said, I've got this script and I love your new album and I think there's some crossover here. And he responded really quickly, and then we started collaborating.
That is amazing. And I'm sure they must be fantastic tracks, right?
Oh, they're amazing. They're incredible.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I know that not only are you filming it, but you are still in the process of funding it. And that is what is so important about getting so many people out there to watch this film, because when you produce something so good, you have to get it seen. Now, I think the great thing that you guys are doing, you're doing a Kickstarter fund. Tell us a bit about that, because I think Kickstarter is brilliant.
I do too. So yeah, our main shoot and the post-production and everything is all funded. The film will exist. But the thing we need help in is getting it out there and getting it distributed, getting it seen as widely as physically possible, getting some really good PR behind it. And that is what the Kickstarter is there to fund. So we're doing all right. We're 15% of the way there already. It's only been running a few days. So there's people behind it. It's going well. And just last night, it became a Kickstarter project we love. So it's going to be featured on the main page and everything. So that's exciting. But yeah, if you'd like to make a pledge, see the film early, anything like that, you can visit the Kickstarter just there, 9 years proof of concept, because we are hoping that this is going to be a feature down the line. That's the whole point of making this shorter version.
Absolutely. It really, really, it should be, definitely. And you know what I really like about the Kickstarter is I've been on it myself and there's loads of different options.
Yeah.
And you can actually either have your name in the credits. I mean, come on, who doesn't want their name in the credits of a film?
Exactly.
That's amazing. There's a chance to have a crew t-shirt. And this one is genius, right? Now, I think everybody should buy this one. You get to have your photo featured somewhere in the film. Oh my goodness. So basically it could be in somebody's house and then it's in the frame, maybe one of the family members, and it's like, oh, there's Michelle. Oh,
Yeah, get involved. There's loads of really good rewards on there, so you can really get involved in it. Yeah,
but it is. I think what Kickstarter does. It's a two-way process, isn't it? And it gives you the chance to get the money that you really need to get. More people to see it, and actually, you get those opportunities that are a bit once in a lifetime. To kind of have that moment to show your grandkids when they're older. Go, that Oscar-winning film, 9 years. That
Correct.
scene where she makes a cup of tea and puts it down. That's my picture. Oh, brilliant. Now, do you still need any extras? Because I know you put a shout out about some extras. How are you doing for your extras?
Well, we're very keen to use people from the local community. We want as many people from Yorkshire and the Humber involved in this as possible. So if anybody wants to get involved, they can email info@foxandcox.co.uk. And we'll get you involved somehow.
Oh, brilliant.
The more the merrier.
Really,
Absolutely.
That would be absolutely cool just to do that. I've got to show up this before you go, though. Oh, my goodness. Is this what the world has become now? I believe this was your production meeting, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And am I right in thinking you all had tapas together on a Zoom?
Yeah.
It was nicknamed the Spanish Table by one of our co-producers who is Spanish, Gabrielle from Enon Films, and I've never heard it called that before, but we rolled with it, and everyone got a little package with some Spanish wine and some olives in the post. It would usually be a big meeting us all together, but obviously with COVID we've got to adapt, so wine's always going to help.
Isn't it fantastic though that we can still have things happen, even though I know we're on the end of it now, but we can still kind of like this, we're all in different places, and how a movie can now still be made and arts can still continue, because it would be a sad place without it, wouldn't it?
It would.
It would, and I think a lot of people are really excited about it because of that as well. People are excited to see something happening, just coming out of the pandemic, hopefully. But it's nice to see that work's still happening. So, yeah.
Now, when can we see this 9 years then? Because I know it. Oh, okay, sorry. I asked one question.
No.
Well, if you one of the rewards on the pledges of Kickstarter, you can see it earlier than everyone else. So if you're desperate to see it, get on the Kickstarter, and then you can have an early viewing. But yeah,
it's going to be doing the festival circuit, so we can't release it until it's done all the festivals. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be a little while. Hopefully by next summer we'll be able to start thinking about premieres and such like.
Yeah.
Oh, well, please, will you come back on and let us know how the filming went, how the editing went, and everything like that? Because I just think it sounds great. You've got a great cast. You've got an absolutely great story, which has, like I say, a lot of passion to it. And I just love the fact that you are, you're just going for it. It's amazing. And you're women. No power.
Can you believe it?
No, go big or go home, Michelle.
Yeah.
What's that?
Go big or go home.
Oh, go big or go home. I like that. Yeah, that could be my new catchphrase. Oh, do you know what? Lovely speaking to you. I know that you have got tons to do. Good luck with the start of filming, and take care and say hello to all the cast for me.
Will do. Thank you,
Thanks,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, weren't they absolutely lovely? That was Rosie and Hayley from Fox and Cox Productions. And it sounds absolutely amazing. 9 years. I actually can't wait to see it because I just think it's going to be a gem of a film. Talking of gems, we have got a particular gem coming up right now. Yes, he's been a busy little bee because there's something called the Bolton Food and Drink Festival happening this bank holiday weekend. It's been going for 16 years, it's absolutely fantastic. And just to have this man on is an absolute joy. Welcome, Michael Harrison. Hey, how are you, Mike?
Great, Michelle, thank you.
Are you exhausted because you are putting the Bolton Food and Drink Festival together, and that is no mean feat, right?
It's the whole team from Bolton Council that are pulling it together, really. But yeah, it's last 2 days have been pretty busy. And
I can imagine.
Tomorrow morning.
Do you know what? It is one heck of an event, and you get such a crowd out there. I know that we missed it last year. So this year, there's going to be even more clamoring, isn't there, Mike, to get down there and just enjoy this complete amazing festival?
Yeah, I mean, we've introduced some new things this year. We've lost a couple of things because we didn't know where we were going to be with COVID and everything. So we've lost the main marquee where you were, was it 3 years ago?
It was 3 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. But we've got 36 regional chef demos over the weekend. We've got 4 special events. So we've got foraging over the 4 days in Queen's Park with a guy called Colin. They're going to be good fun. We have a cheese and beer tasting event twice on Saturday.
Oof.
We've got late lunch with John Christophe Novelli on Sunday. And on Monday, we've got something that's more a chefy type of thing, really. But we've got Paul Costa Degrees from Coppet Cress, which is doing 2 master classes on microgreens, which is the future. I mean, everybody sees a few pea shoots on something, and it's not about pea shoots. It's about flavour. It's about bringing sort of stronger flavours, more nutrition, more nutritional value and everything with smaller ingredients. And it's adding flavour to a dish rather than just putting something on to make it look pretty.
The thing is, like you say, I've been to the festival before. I know how good it is. You don't necessarily have to be really great at cooking, because I've got to say, when I came down the first time, I wasn't. After lockdown, Michael, you are going to be so proud of me. I actually cook everything from scratch. Get me? Woo! I've got a whole load of spices at home. I've even got my own fruit and veg patch. But what I'm saying is you kind of learn something from those masterclasses. And even if it's just a little nugget, you take that nugget away and it stays with you.
It's the little things that matter. It's things like chopping garlic. Don't use a garlic press, because you just spend 20 minutes cleaning it afterwards. Just crush it with a knife. The skin comes off all in one hit. A little bit of sea salt on it, soaks up the oil, breaks it down a lot quicker, and it smells better. And it's just things like that people do tend to remember.
Do you know what? That is a tip that I'm going to take away now, because I've got to say, I do use a lot of garlic in my recipes, and I hate that, because even when you do it, I put it in the dishwasher because I'm really lazy. That never gets any of it out. But then I have to scrub it. My hands reek of garlic. And actually, I was thinking, how do you do it other than just slice it? So you actually just press it with the
Just
knife.
press it with the flat of the knife. That will break the skin, and the skin will come off in one whole piece then. Sprinkle a
Genius.
little bit of sea salt, because a lot of the flavour is in the oil. So the sea salt soaks the oil up, but it also acts to break down the garlic. So you don't have to chop it as much.
I love it. I
so
absolutely love
tasty.
it. But not only have you got these wonderful kind of masterclasses, you've got loads of things, haven't you? Because you've got all the stalls, all the market stalls with lots of people kind of like doing, you know, the cakes. It could be pies. How many of them have you got, Mike?
I think this year, normally I think we have about 180. I think we're about 140 this year.
Wow, that's still an amazing amount of them.
And then there's the children's play area and everything. We've got stuff going on in the Octagon Theatre over the weekend. There's a seaside theme in a big marquee in the town centre for children. There is quite a lot going on, to be honest, this year, even though we've not got the big names, the big chefs.
You mean you've got a beach in Bolton?
Got a beach in Bolton, yeah.
A beach in Bolton. What more could you ask for,
No,
eh?
traffic queues, just.
And I believe, have you got the Lancashire Hot Pots headlining?
Hot Pots on Saturday night. So there's the music stage, which is running all weekend.
That is so, so good. So it is just one of those where you can go, you can have a browse of the markets, you can then go and see a masterclass, the kids can have some fun, and then you can stay and then watch some of the music performances. And I think you're going to have some cracking weather, Mike.
It looks like it, yeah. It's looking absolutely brilliant.
What are you looking forward to most?
It's the whole weekend. I don't really normally get to see anything because it is that busy. This week I think it's going to be slightly easier. So it's just being there, the atmosphere.
Yeah. It is, and like you say, having had a break from like last year and not being able to do it, it must feel really sweet to be back again.
It is, yeah. And obviously, Mr. Crone, spending 4 days with Mr. Crone.
Oh, Paul Crone. I absolutely adore him. Granada Reports, Paul Crone is so, so funny. And he whips the whole thing together, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's literally here, there, and everywhere. What do you feed him on?
Pasty. Pasty and coffee.
Is he a pasty man?
He is a pasty man, yeah.
So give Paul a good pasty and that's it. He's ready to go and he's on fire.
Yeah, to be honest, I think I first met Paul probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. And he was on, Century Radio doing a lunchtime show.
Yeah.
And he said at the time that he doesn't cook anything. And his fridge, you're lucky if you open his fridge and there's a bottle of milk in there. And that night, he was walking past the house with his dog. And I went out and I said, Paul, one of these days I'm going to teach you to cook. And have you managed it? We're getting there. We're getting there. He's getting a lot more adventurous nowadays. He'll tweet me every now and then and say, I've just tried this.
See, I've attended Bolton Food and Drink Festival and look what I've turned into now. See, you know, you want to see some of my creations, Mike, you would be so proud.
You show me some pictures tomorrow.
I will do, because I'm going to come down and see the opening of the wonderful Bolton Food and Drink Festival tomorrow. So do check out our socials and we will be live, not in the Hive, but at Bolton Marketplace. And there's going to be yummy food, right? Of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. And I'll show you how to do the garlic in the morning.
Right, I'm going to keep you to that. Right, I'll let you go and get some rest before the big day.
Cheers.
But just to let everybody know, it starts tomorrow. It runs until Bank Holiday Monday. And it's pretty much free, isn't it? It's only the masterclasses that you pay extra for, yeah?
There's a very little fee anyway on any of it. It's a case of really of limiting the numbers and knowing how many we've got coming. That's really the way the booking's working.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's such a great time of year. So I shall see you very, very soon. Thank you very much, Mike.
Yes, thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good one. Oh, gosh, I'm so excited. And I'm very, very hungry now. I really do feel like I could eat a pasty myself. What time is it? Can you have pasties at 10 to 9? Yeah, I'm sure you can do. I'm sure you can do. I'm going to have to head out after the show. But the last thing that we need to show you this evening is if you have been craving our wonderful Harry, then crave no more. Yes, you may have missed Harry this evening, my mini-me presenter, but he has been a busy little chappy. He's been out with his dad. Yes, it was a proper boys' night. They headed out to the Lowry Theatre in Salford to go and see one of Harry's favourite shows. You may have heard it already. It's a show called Groan Ups. So it's Groan Ups. It's been on things like the BBC. It's from the Mischief Theatre Company. And it's hilarious. Or is it? Now, what did Justin and Harry think of it? Take a look.
This is our review of Groan Ups, which is by the Mischievous Theatre Company, and he's on at the Lowry currently, and he's running till Saturday the 28th, which is this week. So try and get to see it. Now, we went to see it this week, me and Harry. Harry is, how old are you?
6.
6. I'm more than 6, but it does cross all the boundaries. It is basically about a school, and these kids growing up in school, obviously adults playing small children in nursery. And it's very, very funny. They start off as nursery children, then what happens?
Then turn to teenagers, grown-ups.
That's it. So in the end of the first half, they become teenagers, and it follows their journey into the second half where they become grown-ups. And it still has that sort of, how have they all done at school? Have they all turned out daft? Are they still killing hamsters? Are they trumping and pooing in corridors? Because they did that. But we were falling off our chairs first half, weren't we? Our only disappointment was, this is the cast that we expected that was on all the billboards, and that wasn't the cast that was in it. That was the only disappointing thing. So there was a lot of people there who turned up, I think, just to see these, who are very famous on YouTube, very famous for all their theatre productions that are on the BBC every year. And it wasn't them. But I have to say, the people who were in it, who did all these jobs, were amazing, weren't they? They were very funny. Which was your favourite character?
My favourite one was the one that was him, but was
yeah, it was a different one. And he said, you don't stroke a hamster like this, because that will kill it.
They had far too much fun. Thank you very much, Justin and Harry, for that wonderful review of Grown Ups, which is on at the Lowry until Saturday this week. We've had some really nice comments come in tonight. Vicky says Bolton Food and Drink Festival is fantastic. And she even went on to say, don't have any breakfast before you go. I'm not going to have any breakfast before I go because the food sounds absolutely amazing. I'm going to fill me boots. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I have had a ball. I hope you have too. I've been lucky to have some great guests. So thanks to Jai McDowall, thanks to Mike Harrison, thanks to Fox and Cox Productions, and thanks to the wonderful Hotel Brooklyn for their cocktail making a little bit earlier on in the show. Next week, we have got BBC Radio Manchester's Filtro, and we've got a treat for any gin lovers. We've got 3 Pugs gin in the Hive with Filtro, and we're going to be doing a bit of gin tasting as well. Ooh, I can't wait. It gets even better. But I'm going to leave you now with the amazing music of the lovely Jai McDowall. We've got a little bit of a treat for you now. It is Jai singing his cover of Ed Sheeran's Perfect. Have a safe night. Have a good night. I'll see you next week, guys.
I found a love for me, darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me, 'cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling. You look perfect tonight. Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. But we're still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I will not give you up this time. Darling, just hold my hand, be my girl, I'll be your man. I see my future in your eyes, baby. I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms. I'm barefoot on the grass, I'm listening to our favorite song. When I saw you in that dress, looking so beautiful, I don't deserve this. Darling, you look perfect tonight. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms. I'm barefoot on the grass, I'm listening to our favorite song. I have faith in what I see. Now I know I have met an angel in person, and she looks perfect. No, I don't deserve this. Darling, you look perfect tonight.